Okay, so now we're going to make almond pizza cheese. This is one of my favorite ways to make cheese, but it's a little bit more labor intensive than some of the other ones because it's actually fermented. So this uses just almonds, and what we're going to do is we're going to blend the almonds with some miso in the food processor. And the miso, it's a fermented culture. It has a fermented culture in it, and when they blend together, it's going to cause them to lightly ferment, and you're going to leave it overnight or about 12 hours together in a warm place. And then probably the next day, I usually do it at night, and then the next morning strain it through a nut milk bag. So you'll need a nut milk bag for this one. And then blend the mixture that's left with some olive oil, salt, and some seasonings. I've got chili powder, onion powder, cayenne, garlic, and ginger. And it is absolutely delicious. So right now I am going to do the first part, the prep part, and my almonds have been soaking for a full day. I'm going to drain those and rinse them and mix them in the food processor with the miso. Just make sure they're well drained. When they were in the water soaking, they've been releasing their enzyme inhibitors and any toxins, anything that they've excreted. I mentioned before, almonds are living things, and they have a life cycle just like we do, and live and breathe and excrete. And so you want them soaking in clean water every day. Just change the water if you have them soaking in the fridge, which you can do for up to a week. So we have those. It's okay if you have water in with them. We're going to add some water to this. So I'm just going to dump it into the food processor. It seems like more work because it's a two-step part. You have to soak them first, and then you have to do this part and then come back in 12 hours. But once you get used to it, it's really not hard at all. So now we're going to take 2 tablespoons of miso. This one and 2. My fingers. I'm always getting my fingers into everything. Okay, that can go away. This gets stored in the fridge, and I'm using a white miso. I like the flavor of the white the best. It's made with rice and soybeans and a culture, a yeast, and some salt. And there's different kinds. You can get darker misos, brown miso, just rice miso, all kinds. But this is the one I like the best generally for almost every recipe I do. It just has a really simple, fine flavor to it. So I'm going to put those in, and I'm going to get some water. Put 2 cups almonds, so I'm going to put about 1.5 cups of water in with it. So I'm going to start just blending them a little bit on their own, because if you put all the water in with it, the water is just going to come up all over the place. Now what I usually do is take this part off and slowly just pour in some water, and then you can see how it's becoming soupy as I do this, and you want it ground quite fine, not completely disintegrated, not like smooth, slightly chunky, but fine chunky. I'll show you on this. It's the beauty of having the videos. You can really see what I'm doing, because the texture kind of makes the most difference knowing where we're at. I'll show you right now. Can you see where we're at? It's going to be need to done more to to be processed more. That's like a, it's a little chunky, but it needs to be finer than that. And more water in it. Cup and a half is perfect. I'm just going to cup and a half will be perfect if you're using freshly soaked almonds. Unless you're using dry almonds, then you're probably going to need a little bit more water. It's the texture, and like I said, it's kind of soupy, and we're almost there. That's it. Okay, so now we have it just at the consistency that we want it. It's soupy and smooth. Can you see in here? Kind of like oatmeal. Now we're going to transfer this to a dish, and it's going to sit, and we're going to let it ferment overnight or 12 hours. I'm going to go in front of you. Here, just put it in a beautiful dish. This is my favorite dish here. I think this one's Tracy's dish. I'm quite sure. It's a beautiful heart shape. Angus, the owner of Rawlicious, Angus and Tracy, have all these gorgeous dishes that are hand-painted in Poland. Angus lived in Poland for a number of years. And when he came back, he brought all these dishes that we use here at Rawlicious. So there, we have this. What we're going to do now is we're going to set it in a warm place and just let it lightly ferment, like I said, 12 hours. We're going to cover it with with a dishcloth, just lightly over the top so it can still breathe. And I'm going to set it up on top of the fridge because it's warmer there. And then we're going to come back 12 hours later, and I'm going to put all the seasonings in, and it's going to be really delicious.